in there and hope for the best.
Super tubes and super tubes. That's where our crew found the best waves of their Abrolhos adventure. We'll take you there when we get back.
On the boat ride from the Western Australian mainland, 5 of the world's top young pros dreamed of 10 days of perfect weather and waves in the Abrolhos Islands. It didn't quite happen that way.
There's 2 really good sessions out at super tubes. Now this place looks like a giant backdoor. It's pretty awesome. Some great tubes, and it's going to take a while to wipe the smile off some of the boys' faces after that session.
Walk on water, take a walk on water, splash, feels so good. Wake up through the laughter, face up to the laughter. I feel this one too. Each way to me stranger, each way to me stranger, all the streets you walk upon. Nothing is wagered, nobody's wagered, all the greater heart is gone. My fascination,
The first day we surfed super tubes, it was like only like so big, just 2 foot, 3 foot maybe, and then it was still kind of fun. Like you could see, it had great potential, but the wind was wrong. And then the next day we surfed it, we got it kind of really good. The tide dropped out, the wind stayed good, and we got lots of barrels. It's kind of a real fast running right-handed down this long reef. And the super tubes, the outside break, no one's ever out there, and you can sit out there and wait, and you'll get a perfect bomb come through. But you might get lots of closeouts, but if you get a perfect one, it's like definitely well worth it, worth all the beatings you got.
I've seen this one too. Fascination, my fascination.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I mean, super tubes was, I didn't really make many barrels, but inside those things it were just, you know, so hollow and just so much water running everywhere, and just big hollow cabins, I suppose. But super tubes, little super tubes, that was, place is insane. It's so easy to get barreled, you know. It's got a bit of a double up section to it, and you know, once you line it up, you just got to stand there and hold your line, and you're coming out, you know. They're really tight little barrels.
I couldn't believe how much it changed from the first day we were there, just because of a couple of feet, you know.
But that first day was like 3 foot and wasn't like it was lining up. There was like some really whackable sections, but there was no barrels or anything. And then the next day it was like we're getting barrels like 2 on 1 wave sometimes. It was just because it picked up 2 feet. It was pretty weird.
Super fun wave. It's just a right that reels down the reef. Kind of barrels in certain sections. Pretty easy wave. Pretty easy wave to serve. It's a fun little barrel, and you just whack it. Super tubes is like a right. Sometimes it's kind of sectiony. Like it's a super fun wave, but you can just see how it could have got like just perfect all the way through. I don't think we really caught it that perfect, but it was super fun.
When Board Stories continues, we'll sample the wildlife and the nightlife of the Abrolhos. Ooh, ooh. As our Board Stories crew ripped their way around the island of Angry Ghosts, they managed to break a few boards. Now, our crew may be well supplied with backups, but what if that board just happened to be a magic board? You know, that board, that special board, that magic board, the one that you've had forever. Well, it's time for 411-911, and we'll take a look at what's new in surfboard shaping.
I had a really good 6.3, but I ended up breaking it. So I got Mick, who shapes my boards, to put the exact same replicas of this board. You see the number there. He's got all the dimensions written down for that board, and he put it into the computer, which is connected up to the new shaping machine. And so he just put that through and got all the rockers right and everything, and then he came out with this board here, which goes exactly the same as the last one, which is really good.
Borrowing from the latest sailboat racing design technology, today's shaper can make an exact duplicate of any surfboard made. The operation begins in the design process on the computer.
So there's still a little bit of a bump there, and we can go in and change that also besides using the flexi curves, just with the angle that's running through there.
Then it's set up the blank and push the start button. The foam is reduced a millimeter at a time to tolerances up to 1/1000th of an inch. Rocker, V, and outline are all done within an hour.
It takes a lot of the inconsistencies of the blanks away, and if a guy wants a board exactly the same as the last board or slightly different from the last board, we can change it in the design program. We keep all records of all the team guys, all the custom orders, so someone can ring up from a board 6 months ago and we can pull the same file up and change it or do the same sort of thing. So from a design point of view, I get excited about the possibilities in design.
Yeah, this one's a 6.6, a 6.9 and a 7.0. I just got him to, on the computer, extend the dimensions and the rockers according to this one, so they all feel basically the same as this one in different size waves.
I think it just adds a new dimension into design. In my opinion, especially with this program and this machine, you still need a lot of design and shaping experience to be able to put what you want into the computer. The computer doesn't do anything unless you tell it to do stuff, like any computer. And it just gives us the ability to reproduce boards a lot more accurately, especially from a team rider's point of view. That's insane.
With the introduction of this technology, you can replace that magic board, or you can order and ride the same board as any of your favorite pros.
The Bhagwan moored each night at Little Rat Island, where the center of community life is the community hall. Our voyaging surfers liked the place.
This whole thing just revolves around lobster.
It was interesting just to see the lifestyle that these people lead over here, you know. I don't know how they do it.
There was the fun they had fishing for squid.
Oh, yes!
And the day the seal came to play.
Well, the seal that was coming up onto the back of our boat, you know, that was just incredible. I've never seen anything like it before.
That's like the first time I ever done that. The seal was just like cruising up, just checking us out, feeding it, just playing around with it. I mean, it's like we were in SeaWorld or something.
They may not have found all the waves they wanted, but they made a lot of memories, including a visit to the watery grave of the Dutch ship that ran aground and sank here in the Abrolhos more than 370 years ago.
Finally, we're leaving the Abrolhos to the land and sea creatures, the lobster fishermen and their family, and to the ghosts of Batavia. We'll see you next time on Board Stories. Aloha.